Hey chat, how are you? Sigh. Do you remember in middle school, and this was mostly a girl thing, but girls would write on each other's hands, arms, legs, words, sentences, scripture, and then would draw pictures on each other's arms and elbows. And what was that all about? I mean, that was our TikTok before TikTok, but it was just we were bored, or it was just fun, or it was just something to do. And then the other thing I heard was if you have two lasagnas and you take one lasagna and you put it on top of the other lasagna, you have one lasagna. Ooh, crazy. Hey, chat. How are you? Sigh. So, did a little winnow slash purge on my stuff this weekend. I had a box of tools and cables. And why did I own 30 USB-C cables? I don't know. But I had amassed all these like monitor power cords and hubs and routers and all this stuff that I just adapters that I don't even know what they go to anymore. HDMI cables, crap like that. And so I had it all in a box, and it's been sitting in our garage annex for a year plus. And I thought, it's time to winnow. It's time to purge. I am more than my possessions. I'm getting rid of all that crap. It just, even though it sat in a tiny corner in a dark annex of our garage, it started bothering me. And I was like, it's time to get rid of that crap. Get the hell on, as they say. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. So I took it, the box, down to Goodwill. And I was going through a few stuff, various cables and cords, adapters, and stuff upstairs. But a lot of stuff was in that box that sat dormant, moribund, in our annex for a year plus. And so I was like, just going to take it to the Goodwill. I looked it up. Goodwill takes that crap. And it doesn't take computers, but it takes accessories. So I took it down there, and a part of me, for a second, I thought, I'm going to go through all this. And then that second fleeted out of my mind, and I said, oh, hell no. Actually, I went through a bunch of crap a few years ago, and this box, I was like, okay, this box has stuff of value, significance. I may need it. I may need an eighth HDMI cable one day, but I was like, okay, it's time to get rid of it. And a bunch of tools. I gave away a bunch of tools. I consolidated all my tools. I would buy a tool set every few years. I'm not sure why. Just because I would lose a screwdriver, misplace a wrench, need an Allen wrench or whatever. So I would just hop on Amazon. They got the basic tool set, tool kit with a case for it for 15, $20. So I had a bunch of hammers, I had a bunch of wrenches, a bunch of Allen wrenches, a bunch of screwdrivers. So I just winnowed, I purged, I got rid of a lot of that stuff. And I gave it all to Goodwill, and I'm down to my most basic tools, and one of each. I got one wrench, I got one pliers, I got a Phillips head, I got whatever the other one is, and that's cool. I'm set. That's good for me. That's all I need. Minimalism for the win. So I took it all down to Goodwill. I gave it away, and yeah, it was nice. It was a nice weight off my shoulders. In a related story, Grandma Tien, she's an older gal. Okay, she's amassed some stuff. She has some stuff. She has possessions. And so what she done did, what had happened was she hired a dude who had a couple workers with him, paid $900, and they came into her house, and my mom pointed at stuff and said, "Get rid of that. Get that the hell out of here." So like beds and cabinets and dressers and furniture and couches and on and on and on. They took it. They took a ton of stuff. And the guy's actually taking it to Mexico, which okay isn't far fetched. Mexico's about an hour from Grandma Tien's house, but that's where his whole setup is, where he sorts and where he sells and where he trashes stuff, gives away stuff or whatever, sends it to the dump. So he takes it down to Mexico and does whatever he does with it. So Grandma Tien, the first day was $900, and then the second day, because as I said, she has some stuff.
And oop.
Day two, because as I said, she has some stuff. Day two, guy and his workers took more stuff, another $300. So she is lighter. Her step is a little lighter. She's a little lighter on her feet. And frankly, I'm happy because I don't have to deal with that stuff when the day comes. But yeah, for whatever reason, Grandpa Curtis, he he drew a line in the sand regarding his books, and Grandpa Curtis loves to read. Grandpa Curtis has a ton of books. I'm talking several bookcases stacked high, full to the rim, filled to the rim with brim. Just stuffed with a bunch of books. And he said, "You cannot touch my books. The books are off limits. Books are non-negotiable. The books are staying here. The books ain't going down to Mexico." And I think that's, if I were to take a wild guess, I think that's less about the books and more about a power struggle. A little man needs a little autonomy, if you will. Whenever Carolyn and I go back and forth over something, I scream out, "I am a sovereign nation." But yeah, so he still has a ton of books. And I could see if, like, okay, this copy of the Odyssey from fifth grade means a lot to me. So I want to keep this book, and I will hold on to this book until I die. Bury me with this gosh dang book. I could see that. But the man has a ton of books, over 1,000 easily. A lot, mostly science fiction. He loves science fiction, and that's fine, but it's taking up space. And eventually, I'm going to have to deal with it, but that's fine. I actually, when I was down there a year or two ago, whatever, this came up. The books came up, and I carelessly said something to the effect of, "Just get rid of them. Just toss them. It's okay. Your life will go on. It's just material possessions. Can we all calm down and move on with our lives?" And he got pissed at me. And I hadn't seen him pissed in a decade or 2 decades. And he said, "No, those things mean a lot to me. They're not going anywhere." And I was like, okay, I guess we've reached the point of no return, and we're going to break. Watch this advertisement. Watch this advert. So, yeah, Grandma Tien, big ups to her. And Grandpa Curtis, way to stand your ground. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Grandma Tien didn't send any clothes with the gentleman, but she says that's easy. And I think if they're still down there, then I will help, because I'm headed down there in about 2 months. So I'm gonna Amazon. I'm gonna get Jeff Bezos to deliver a bunch of garbage bags. We're gonna fill up those garbage bags and head on old to the Salvation Army. Head on down to the Salvation Army or the Goodwill. I don't know. Up here it's like the Goodwill, but I remember growing up in San Diego and it was the Salvation Army. Are they the same thing? Are they different? I don't know. But That's what my mom wants to give the stuff to, and that's what we're going to give the stuff to. Got my DMV picture, got my license, got my real ID. Oh my goodness, the government can track me now. It then came, I had to take my picture down at the DMV, which I wasn't ready for. Okay, but got my driver's license and the picture. Listen, it's just I didn't know I looked like that. It's a real come to Jesus moment. I can't believe Carolyn has to kiss that. I'm crashing out. I'm spiraling. I'm literally shaking. I'm clutching / grasping at my rosary beads. The problem is the camera is too low. So it's like it's going upwards. The view, the angle is in an upwards trajectory. And so my head looks bulbous, but I don't even look, well, like the bottom part of my head looks, I look like a pear. Like the bottom part of my head, it just looks like its own entity. And then the top part of my head is kind of doing its own different thing. I look horrible. I hate myself, but what else is new? But the camera is too low, okay? And this isn't a Hype Williams video. It's not the fisheye lens. I'm not dancing in a shiny suit. And my name isn't $E, okay? Shoot. By the way, when you're on Teams or Zoom or FaceTime, whatever, keep the camera at least eye level or higher. Because if it's low, like your laptop is on the table and it's looking up at you, that's a bad angle. You look terrible, okay? I don't need to see your nose hairs. I also, when I was filling out the driver's license at the DMV, I lied about my weight. I wrote 212, which I even hate that number. But that's my goal weight for now, right now. But at the time when I was at the DMV, my weight was 237, maybe 238. But if I pooped, 235. But I am on track. I'm low carb. I'm living that keto lifestyle. And I'm down to 223 as of right now, because I'm in 2 weeks we're going to the Fisher Chateau, and I want to go shirtless in front of Liz Fisher. Okay, I want to look good in front of Liz Fisher, and then after that I'm going to see Grandma Tien, and I want to look good for her. I don't need her crying about me being overweight again. But I am on track. I'm living that ketogenic lifestyle. Intermittent fasting. I've been running on the treadmill. And so I just need to starve myself and run some more and hit the gym. Well, I do that anyways because I lift. I'm strong. But I'm headed on down, hopefully to 212 by Fisher Chateau. Do you say chateau or castle? Because we've been saying castle, but actually the formal name of the place that Liz and Alan, Carolyn's parents, rented via Verbo, it has chateau in the name. So, and I like Fisher Chateau. It's got I don't know if it's alliteration. It's like alliteration in the middle. Fisher Chateau. I think it goes better than Fisher Castle. Fisher Chateau rolls off the tongue. I am doing cardio in our condo gym cardio room on a treadmill. And it's horrible because it takes forever to walk or walk to speed walk or slow jog anywhere. And I hate it, but whatever. But the worst part is that there's no fan on me. So it gets hot, although I'm sweating more, aka losing more weight. So that's a positive, I guess. But there's no TV in front of the treadmill. So there's two treadmills, one on the left, one on the right. The one on the left has a TV directly in front of it, but it's the furthest from the fan. And then the one in the middle has the fan closest to it, You still can't feel it, but it's there. So visually, it helps, I guess, my mind cool off. But there's no TV in front of it, and then there's a TV off to the right on the wall, which is in front of Life Cycle, unicycle. What is it? Stationary bicycle, the exercise bike. So they have a TV, and then the treadmill to the left has a TV, but the treadmill in the middle, the one closest to the fan, doesn't have a TV, but that's fine. And the other thing is that this is a small room. The treadmill is right up against the wall. So my face is literally a foot and a half from the wall. So I just stare at the wall and I think, I hate this. This is terrible. And I don't like this, but I'm doing it for the greater good. Oh, I was thinking, about books and Grandpa Curtis's books. And so back in the day when my parents got together, it was a Vietnamese woman and a white man. Oh my goodness. Who could you could never do that in the 50s. But the bigger beef, the bigger turmoil in their lives was we had, meaning me and my mom had the volumes of the World Book Encyclopedia, the blue books, the complete A to Z volumes. Grandpa Curtis, the Coppermans, they had the the brown books. It was the brown versus the blues. Oh, it was just the back and forth. It was like the Bloods and the Crips, Tupac versus Biggie, the Hatfields versus the McCoys. It was crazy. But we managed to get through that division. And I don't understand wanting to keep those, honestly. Like, here, Grandpa Curtis, here's a CD with Microsoft Encarta 97 on it. It's got all these books on this little compact disc read-only memory. I think you'll be okay. You got this. You can look up anything you want. My friend slash coworker slash friend, he showed me a receipt he went out to eat at Sky River, the casino here in Elk Grove, just south of Sacramento. And he sent me his receipt because Grandma Tian likes to criticize everything I purchase and buy. So I take that anger and angst and rage and turn it around on my friends slash coworkers, and I like to see what they spend their money on. Like buying energy drinks at work for $3 at a vending machine. I could never. And if Grandma Tian knew, she would lose her shit on you. But my friend slash coworker, Mr. Marith, Sky River, for a 6-pack of Corona, $42. And so I was like, what the heck? So I take that Grandma Teen energy, criticizing me, and I flip it around on Mr. Marith, and I start criticizing his purchasing decisions. But he broke it down for me, and he said, yeah, that's $7 a beer. And I was like, oh yeah, listen, I've had some beers in some bars in my life. I paid $2. I paid $8. Nowadays, for the most part, it's 6 to 7 in the range. And for the fishers out there, if you buy a 24-pack of Michelob Ultra, Mickey Ultra at the Walmart, that's how my mom pronounces Walmart, it's $21, give or take. So it's like 90 cents per cerveza. And obviously you're paying the upcharge because you're paying for the roof, the brick, the mortar, the labor, the overhead, etc. So $42 for a 6-pack in a ristorante at the casino. I thought that was outrageous, and I chided him. And but when I think about it, $7 a beer, okay, that's it's understandable. I get it. I can do that. But I would never buy a 6-pack of beer. And they should have deals. Like, here's a bucket of 6 beers for $35 or whatever. So when I go out and I have a beer, I drink one or two, or I get the 20-ounce one to save a buck or two. But rarely go out, even less rare, more rarer, that I purchase a beer, but $42 for a 6 pack, I'll never do it. If you need me, I'll be on Rotten Tomatoes review bombing Ironheart. Oh wait, I already did it because they let people review it before it was released. But yeah, I hate it. 0%. Why? Because that's not my Iron Man. Alrighty. Well, I guess I'm done. Take care. Brush your hair. Peace out. See ya. Late.